Americans are now witnessing the Democratic Party racing to impeach President Trump for the second time, less than 10 days before his term is over, and he departs from the White House. The optics of such a maneuver may not play well with the weary public, half of which now says President Trump's recent speech, perceived to be a concession speech and shared on Twitter, was unifying, rather than divisive. According to Harvard Law School professor emeritus Alan Dershowitz. Meanwhile, the impeachment process will not go to trial. Mr. Dershowitz said, "All the Democrats can do is impeach the president in the House of Representatives. For that, all you need is a majority vote. You don't have to take evidence. There are no lawyers involved. But the case cannot come to trial in the Senate, because the Senate has rules. And the rules would not allow the case to come to trial until 1 p.m., on January 20, an hour after President Trump leaves office. And the Constitution specifically says, the president shall be removed from office upon impeachment," he advised. It doesn't say the former president. Congress has no power to impeach or try a private citizen, whether it be a private citizen named Donald Trump or named Barack Obama or anyone else. The jurisdiction is limited to a sitting president. And so there won't be a trial. Inside Section 230. Conservatives are closely monitoring bans and freezes now underway at the nation's largest social media platforms. Kay James, president of the Heritage Foundation, says, "Americans have legitimate concerns about the role of big tech in shaping and influencing political speech. Time and again, social media companies have squandered the public's trust and don't deserve the benefit of the doubt. Letting dictatorial regimes from China and Iran use their platform while banning the democratically elected leader of the United States shows the hypocrisy and political motivations of these companies." She warns conservatives, as well as the general public, shutting off legitimate debate and intellectual diversity comes at a very high cost. Big tech is not going to stop with the President of the United States. They can ban you next and everyone reading this. Ms. James advises, referring to Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act. This is why it is time for Congress to reform Section 230 and Americans to exercise their power by continuing to put pressure on big tech. Claude Kitchen, director of the organization's Center for Technology Policy, reports. The Heritage Foundation is now calling on Congress to refine Section 230, to ensure that markets and civil discourse remain free and fair. He writes, "Major social media providers have squandered the public trust with inconsistent and often political moderation and censorship of user content." Mr. Kitchen says, Section 230 must be carefully refined to better fit the statute's original intent and to restrain potential abuses of its protections. Has the possibility of compromise between dueling lawmakers on Capitol Hill been compromised? The Democrats' dual victories in Georgia's January 5 runoff elections created a rare 50-50 split in the Senate and will give majority power to the Democrats once Kamala Harris becomes the deciding vote when she is sworn into office January 20. Does a tied Senate mean gridlock? Maybe, maybe not. Stephen Smith, a professor of social science at Washington University, said, "There's always the power-sharing agreement." He advises, while there are no formal rules about how the Senate should function in the event of an even split, there is a template. Noting a 2001 deal between then Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott and then Senate Minority Leader Tom Daschle. It included such measures as a 12-hour restriction on the offering of cloture motions on amendable matters, and eligibility of senators from both parties to preside over the Senate. General provisions seeking to reiterate the equal interest of both parties in the scheduling of Senate chamber business were also included. Could such productive harmony happen again in 2021? Mr. Smith says, the Lott-Daschle agreement may be difficult to replicate, suggesting that Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell faces pushback from uncompromising members of his party conference. The professor says, the events of January 6 may encourage efforts on both sides to reduce partisanship, which would improve the odds of a power-sharing agreement. Also, he adds, at the moment, I give them only a 60-40 chance of agreeing on a bipartisan power-sharing plan.